Never waste any time that you can spend sleeping. Frank H. Knight. Give me one clap if you've sacrificed your sleep for something important. Give me one more clap if you regretted staying up all night. Give me one last clap if you've ever felt that no amount of sleep is ever enough. If you clap for all three of these questions, you are on the same boat, drowning boat of sleep deprivation as I am. In fact, my story of sleep deprivation starts from sleep. When I was younger, I had the privilege of sleeping any time that I wanted. However, my outlook in life was very different. I would wake up at 5 a.m., run to the hall and watch TV and watch my favorite cartoons. I would then have my breakfast and then get ready for school. I would run to school, not literally run, take the bus, go to school, and I would do a lot of mischief in my class. I would trouble the teacher, I would talk to my friends, I would play games within the class. And once there was a break, I would go outside and play games with my friends. After coming back from school, I would come back home, not rest, but rather go outside and play games with my friends. I would come back home, and then I would very reluctantly sit down and do my homework. After memorizing the tables of 2, 3s, and 4s, I would then have my dinner, where my stomach would be filled. I would take a nice long shower, where I would imagine fighting a supervillain under the waterfall. After doing all of that, I would go to my bed, lay down on my bed, and sleep. Child shares was not that predictable. Despite having a very tiring day, I wanted to do more. I did not like the idea of sleeping. In fact, I would daydream, or rather night dream, about what I would want to do if I wasn't sleeping. Because you see, if I would sleep, I would be away from the TV and the cartoons. If I would sleep, I would be away from my friends and the games that I would play, and I would also be away from all my imagination under the shower, especially. Why would I waste my time sleeping when I could stay up all night and do all the things that I can also do during the day? Life got busier after that. Suddenly, I had a lot more records to write. The portions increased. And 24 hours did not seem like they were enough. And that is when I got excited. Because suddenly, 11 p.m. did not seem like it's time to sleep. And when one day I had to submit my chemistry record, my physics record, and prepare for a calculus test, I was excited because I took my first step towards not sleeping. My dream was finally coming true. Because I stayed up that night, I completed my physics record, I completed my chemistry record, I studied for the test, and I even watched one episode of How I Met Your Mother. That episode started with the line, "Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. I paused the series and I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. Because I've been living my dream. I studied, I wrote my records, and I've entertained myself post 12. Because when I looked up at the clock, it was 2:01 a.m. And thus started my journey of not sleeping. I would stay up all night every day and do all the things that I would not be able to do during the daytime. I would watch all the movies in the world, all the series in the world. I don't have time to write a record during the daytime? Completely fine. Let me stay up and do it. I was living the dream. But was I? We'll come back to that. One thing that did add more fuel to the night fire that happened during the night when I used to stay up was that Netflix was launched in India. And there was a show that had a lot of hype, and I had my 13 reasons to watch it. One of them being that it was a weekend the next day. So I started watching that show because all of the episodes were available. I started watching that show at 12 a.m. and I finished watching it at 1 p.m. 13 hours, 13 episodes. I thought that I had conquered the world. This was the life hack. I could do everything. However, life said, haha, you don't sleep, you'll see what happens. And I think you guys know the most obvious thing that happened. But I was not prepared for it because my mind and body started giving up. I went and submitted my records, but I got it back with a lot of red circles because I had been making mistakes in not sleeping and writing my record and I didn't even notice them. I would study all night, but when I go to the test, despite studying that question, I would be completely blank. I would watch all the movies in the world, but when someone would come and ask me, who are the actors in that movie? Blank. What was happening? This was my dream. I used to night dream about staying up and watching my favorite movies and shows. What was it that was happening? I decided, fine, this is it. I'm going to fix my sleep schedule. I took one more step towards sleep. But life said, you take 2 steps back. Because I had developed the habit of sleeping after 3 a.m. No matter how much I tired myself out, I would not sleep past 3 a.m. I tried it once again, trying to go to the sleep side of my life, but life said, back to sleep deprivation. You're not sleeping. This caused a lot of frustration in my life. I was not able to communicate with my friends enough because I would be concentrating, please don't fall asleep, please don't fall asleep. My personal bonds were breaking. Is this the dream that I quit dreaming for? That is when I decided, enough is enough. I'm going to try this. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I did. I went to exercise. I tired myself out. I didn't sleep. I came back and I had my breakfast. I then studied for all day long. I avoided all kinds of sugar and caffeine. And then I took a very nice long bath. This time I was too tired to even imagine fighting a supervillain. 21st November 2021 was the first day I finally fell asleep before 11 p.m. after struggling with sleep deprivation for 4 years. 21st November. But then, 13th December 2021, my engineering started. And you know what happened next. But however, now I keep switching between sleep and sleep deprivation because I have realized that the time you have that you can spend sleeping should not be wasted. Would you spend your time sleeping or doing something more productive? Toastmaster of the day.
The applause goes